So I'll combine both.
Yeah.
So I'll take 10 minutes then.
Yeah.
Friends, I think what Raji said, Arun said about Pradeep as a character or individual personality, to me, it also gets reflected in his magazine Data Quest. And I'll tell you a story here. Goes back to 1987, 88. No email, no internet, no smartphones. And at Vijay Mukhi's place in Mumbai, we used to meet. Saurabh used to be a regular uh, member of that get together. And we came up with an idea that let's form an association because we had hundreds of regulations choking the industry. At that time, Sashi Bagnari of DataQuest, she was also at the party and she loved the idea. So next day when we met, she also joined us in the meeting. And of course, we decided to form NASCOM. Now, at that time, almost every industry leader was against us. MATE, the most powerful hardware association, sorry, Ajay, but was against us forming it. And there were articles coming out saying we are a breakaway group from MATE and whatnot. Hmm? But see, yeah, but it is the data quest was the, I would say, unifier, as many people said. Nowhere, I mean, you can get info about the industry. Data Quest has been supporting NASCOM right from those days. So I think you have laid the foundation of technology world from that perspective in India. The second story I would like to talk about is, again, Pradeep referred to and Saurabh referred to, about the World Bank study. Now there's one more insight I would like to share. Again, this goes back to 91. In those days, DOE was run by scientists. The technology gatekeepers were heading DOE. Mr. Vittal was the first IAS officer to come in as a DOE secretary, and he commissioned the World Bank report. We met this gentleman, Jack Epstein from Mini Micro, and Robert Swear from World Bank. At that time, they were substantially, I would say, focused on hearing what they had heard, India to focus on the software product industry. And here we were saying, because many of us had failed miserably in the software product game in the mid 80s, so we didn't see the future for software product. And we wanted industry to focus on software services. Now, in those days, software services meaning techno coolies work, cyber coolies work, washing the diapers of Fortune 500 company. Very quite negative about the services. But we were very clear at that point that if we get the regulations removed, the industry can grow. And that's why the World Bank report, when it came out, talked about both product focus as well as services. We said, yeah, we are not saying against, we are not against product, but give proper focus to software services. And they came up with 40 recommendations and $1 billion and whatnot. Even in those days, Mr. Vittal used to tell us, ask us, do you know how many zeros are in a billion? So that was the kind of environment we were in. But again, the DQ played a significant role in pivoting the country's strategy from product to services. Now, I'm sure Divakar is not here. He may not have liked what we did probably because he was die-hard product-focused entrepreneur. The third story I would like to tell is about the jury itself. I was heading the jury. We are fantastic members of the jury. Vinodji is here, Prem, Som, Kamal Nath, Hemant, who else? Did I miss out anybody else? Okay. So anyway, so I said Vinod, and of course Pradeep. Yeah. Oh yeah, Chandan. Oh, he's there, right? Welcome. Yeah. So for the work done by DQ, I mean the selection of the candidates for each position and the comprehensive work that they had done. I think it was in some sense very easy for each jury member to comment and bring out a unique perspective. In the first round, what was happening was everyone had their own individual perspective. But we could shortlist from 5 to, say, 2 or 3 individuals. Then in the second round, it was amazing to see how every jury member converged to a person who is a winning candidate. And it all happened because of the excellent work done by the DQ team that helped us to really, without any doubt, selecting the individual. Lifetime achievement was another story because all the five candidates were exceptionally qualified, all five. And it was tough for us to. So finally, we had to request Pradeep, can we have at least two lifetime achievement awards? Then he agreed. And and partly it is because of $250 billion size of the industry. Industry has become so huge. And I don't know what's going to happen to you in 2047 when the industry would have grown exponentially and how many lifetime achievement awards you will have to give. But we'll have to plan for that. But we did a very great job, great, I would say. Uh, with enjoyment, we all worked together as a team and came up with the winners. Congratulations to all the winners. And I was asked to give some few words about the theme of the conclave today, how India can become a tech superpower. I have a very simple answer. Follow Maverick effect. Now, what do I mean by Maverick effect? Those who have read the book would know. All the players of Maverick effect are here. All meaning many of them are here. Right from Pradeep, Mohan, Ajay, Neelam, so everybody. Harish, Kiran, Anand is who I've seen. Anyway, so many such players were, the NASSCOM's Executive Council and Chairman's Council, many of these members are here. How these individuals worked as a team, even though they are fierce competitors, you saw partly, they're also friends also. With these fierce competitors, how they kept with, let's say, no personal agenda, kept the India first or industry first, with single voice, creative juices flowing for industry to grow. And NASSCOM as an independent, neutral, trustworthy platform where these ideas were flowing in and solutions were being found. So, like one solution was, should we allow entry to 100% ownership for MNCs or not? Now just imagine in those days, this group of people decided that yes, we do not mind global competition in our own courtyard. Competition is the best guru. And of course, it came with a very internal debate where we said, whoever develops human capital of India is us, and who doesn't is not us. And that gave birth to 100% ownership for the MNCs. And today we have what? 1,500 R&D centers earning $42 billion, employing 1.4 million high-end engineers. So that's the kind of contribution of having that guts as a Maverick effect, I call it, made that happen. I talked about no personal agenda. I see Harish here. I remember that story, Harish. There was a delegation taken to Russia by the PMO's office. They had taken two industries, pharma and software industry, to promote exports. Now, when the NASSCOM's turn came to give a presentation about the IT industry or software services potential, Som Mittal was the president of NASSCOM at that time. Normally, Som would give the presentation. But he looked around and he saw Harish Manglik, chairman of Accenture India and chairman of NASSCOM at that time. He's here in the group. So why not Harish give the presentation? So we asked Harish, would you give a presentation? Harish said, of course I would. But he looked around. He saw N. Chandra, who's the current Tata Sons chairman. He was also in the delegation. So Harish says, TCS, the largest software company from India, his CEO is here. So N. Chandra should give a presentation. So we approached Chandra. Would you give a presentation? Chandra said, of course, why not? Then we said, but Chandra, there is one caveat. He said, what is it? In this presentation, there are your 4 competitors' case studies are also part of this presentation. What do you give? And you'll be surprised without blinking. He said, I'm speaking on behalf of India. And this is what I mean by no personal agenda. So that no personal agenda that this group carries has that impact worldwide. Of course, the industry has grown and the trust between the policymakers and the industry. We don't have any, frankly, regulation, which is sort of now bothering us. There are no regulations which are of the monitoring type, which you see in the startup industry today. I mean, the government comes up with fatwas every alternate day. I don't know why. But they're not together. There is no cohesive view that is being presented to the government. And it has reached a point where China wanted to compete with India in the tech services business. So they appointed foresters as an agency to come up with a master plan, how China can become world number 1 in tech services. And you all know that China, when they decide, they go with the full might. John McCarthy, who was the CEO of Foresters at that time, John told the Chinese government, the State Department, who wanted this study to be done, that if you want to compete with India, the first thing you should do is you should create NASSCOM equivalent organization in China. Because why? What is so big thing about China? Is I have not seen anywhere in the world IBM, Accenture, Capgemini, TCS, Infosys, Wipro, all sitting around a table talking about the industry issue and solving the problem. That power of togetherness and the trustworthiness, and they're all, of course, the best of best Indians, the most competent, most confident, competitive people anyway. So when they come together and come up with a industry solving strategy, it has a huge, huge impact. So that's what I mean by if India to become a tech superpower, this maverick effect or the way the NASSCOM's working is should get replicated in their own way, customized, personalized, whatever form, in every industry segment in the country. And you will see dramatic difference because they will grow the ecosystem exponentially. So you have to believe in a principle that abundance thinking, as I would call it, that if you grow the pie, there is more room for us who are existing players, as well as you give birth to hundreds of new companies. So that has to be the mindset of everybody around it, instead of pulling each other's legs, or even not thinking or not contributing in a meeting, and where the creative juices flow, and you have the guts to take a decision like allowing 100% MNCs, 100% ownership to MNCs to come to the country. So that's the message I have. Okay, follow the starting point. The way the NASSCOM style of working is in every industry segment, we will see a dramatic change in the way India can change and become a global tech powerhouse. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.